The Selfish Path to Romance. Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com.
Now, here's a question I received from a stay-at-home mom. Dear Dr. Kenner, my name is Karen, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I moved to Connecticut in last year, and I still don't have anyone to hang out with. My boyfriend and I fight because I don't get a break. But when he offers to give me one from our son, I have nothing to go to. I need help. Where is a good place to make friends? Also, I find myself nitpicking at little things in our relationship, and it causes more problems. How do I let the little things not be so important? How do I let those problems go? Please help me. Number one, Karen. This is from Karen. You need to value yourself more. You're a stay-at-home mom. If you're a stay-at-home mom, I was a stay-at-home mom for a short period of time, and I was crawling the walls. You need to make it more interesting, so I decided to do that. I decided to teach my kids at home, and I enjoyed that tremendously, but boy, did I need those breaks. And sometimes I would hire a sitter, and I would just drive up my driveway, and my kids wouldn't be able to see the car, and I would sit there and read a book. And so I was basically at home, but it felt like I was in another world. I'd put on nice music or something in the car, or I'd go out a little bit, and I'd get I want to say an awful. In Rhode Island, we have awful. You might call them fraps elsewhere. But I would get something and just treat myself. You need breaks. You need psychological breaks. And there's nobody else but you, Karen, to decide how to make your own life interesting. So I would take up your boyfriend and take those breaks from your son. You'll be a much better mother. How to make friends? Well, the first friend you want to make is with yourself. And number two, the friend you want to make is with your boyfriend, because you're nitpicking on him, and that is not going to be good for a relationship. So if you're angry at yourself for not having a different life, maybe for having a child out of wedlock or a child when you weren't ready, that may be something that you need some therapy for. That's something that you want to deal with. But let's just take this straight. How do you make friends? There is a book I'm going to recommend, The Loneliness Book. It's a guide to developing and maintaining lasting connections by Mary Ellen Copeland, and she's got ideas. She's got ideas on how you make friends. So the first thing is to recognize your own strengths. When you can reflect back on good friendships that you've had over the course of your life, and you may need to go back to childhood, what did people like about you? What did you like about you? Can you be warm and friendly? I know you're nitpicking at your boyfriend now, but do you have that capacity? Can you support other people? Are you a good listener? Are you interesting? Can you be funny? Do you know any? I mean, I'm not good at jokes at all. My husband says, don't say any on the radio because you're not good. But do you have any humor that you could use, that not sarcasm, that's not good, but you can come up with some wonderful ideas to just remind yourself of your own strengths, and that's always good, and no matter what you do. Then what type of activities could you engage in? Well, there are all sorts of things. When your boyfriend tells you that he will take care of your son, man, take advantage of that. You don't want to get any more resentful of him, and you're training him to have involvement with his son, which is very good. So what can you do when you have that free time?
Hey, I got to interrupt this because we've got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, that's it. A very quick ad, and then Alan will be back.
Romance. I wish I knew more about what girls want from a relationship. Boy, I wish I knew more about what I want. Where's that ad I saw? Here it is. The Selfish Path to Romance, a serious romance guidebook. Download Chapter 1 for free at selfishromance.com and buy it at amazon.com. The Selfish Path to Romance. That is interesting.
So what can you do when you have that free time? You could go to a library and discover a good book or a book on tape that you would like to listen to, maybe some music or a CD, or use their computer. You could do something at the library. You can look in the paper. There's a section, What's Happening, and see if there's anything. If you don't have a lot of money, there may be some activities in town that you could go to. You could volunteer. Maybe you enjoy animals and you can volunteer to, or maybe even have a job pet sitting or something. You can listen to music that you like. And how do you make friends? You want to learn the skills to reach out. So you can think of, who have my friends been? Can I reconnect with some of my friends? That may help you. Just saying, it's been a long time and I haven't touched base and I'd like to go to coffee with you. Would you like to do that? And we'll catch up. And some of them may work, some of them may not work. You put out several different ways to make friends. You could join a parents group with your son and maybe make some friends there, and you may be able to share with babysitting, which could free up your time too. So there are lots of things that you can do for yourself. That's the key. Know that you can do things for yourself to make your own life better.
And here's a little more from Dr. Kenner.
Very interesting question I received from somebody. Somebody was saying that they went to a conference, a talk at Stanford, and they talked about how it's so good to have girlfriend time, because women typically share emotions with one another, whereas guys typically talk about what? Sports, cars, fishing, hunting, golf, jobs, but they don't talk about what's most dear to them, their deepest emotions. They don't share on that level. Now, that's not true of all guys, but somebody wrote to me, Ben wrote and said, I can't recall ever having discussed my emotions with a guy. So if you're a guy, they're finding out that this is very healthy, that it's very good to be able to share your emotions with friends, and whether it's female or male, and that's good for all of us.
And here's a little more from Dr. Kenner.
Are you happy? You can privately ask yourself, do I wake up in the morning and look forward to some things in my day? I know, granted, you may need to go to the dentist and you may have some bills to pay and things you're not looking forward to, but do you wake up in the morning and have some interest, whether it's your kids or a love relationship or something to look forward to, your career or a job that you enjoy? Do you work to make your life interesting? If you don't, what could change? How could you change it? You don't want to sit there expecting the world to change it or other people to change it. Empower yourself. Think about, what could I do today to make my day a little more interesting, or tomorrow a little more interesting?
For more Dr. Kenner podcast, go to drkenner.com and please listen to this ad.
Here's an excerpt from The Selfish Path to Romance by psychologists Drs. Kenner and Locke.
There are approaches to having intimacy that do not work in relationships. For example, one-way satisfaction, or pleasure between partners, the man achieving satisfaction and the woman feeling used. That doesn't work. A man may believe that because he enjoyed the experience, that the woman must have enjoyed it also. He fails to grasp or understand her frustration or irritation. Or he may be keenly aware that it is one-sided, lacking mutual joy, but feels helpless in knowing what to do or how to talk about this openly and comfortably. And if the woman meekly replies with an edge of resentment in her voice, I wasn't satisfied, but it's okay, her meekness will spell dissatisfaction for both and relationship trouble for many years to come, if the relationship lasts.
Download Chapter 1 for free at drkenner.com, and you can buy the book at amazon.com.